Good morning. Right, I'll get myself sorted out here. Right, how we doing? How's it going, everybody? Brilliant. I'm pretty good. Good to see you on here, Galactic. I wonder who else is here. Do say hello in the chat. We've got a guitar lesson today, and we're looking at hybrid picking again. Exciting, isn't it? Requests from Ergo, really. Enzo, I should say. Because he had some interesting questions about it. So hope he turns up this morning. Hope he's up. Set his alarm. Because he needs to be here for the actual live. So remembering exercises, that's what today is about somehow. I haven't totally figured it out. All right. And relax. Okay. Enzo is here. I was just subbing to your patron. Thank you, Enzo. You were listening, by the way. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got the book, the Brett Gasted book, and I thought I would just kind of go through it and just start talking about hybrid picking and pick some of the more interesting exercises out of it. But I think the first thing we've got to understand is actually being able to hybrid pick is the goal here, not remembering all of the Brett Gasted exercises. One of the reasons we don't remember the exercises is probably two, actually. One, we're probably already using them when we're improvising and just don't realise because we can't, because you're using it in such a sort of, because you're using it with different patterns, it's less easy to distinguish from the exercises, which are very, very simple. That's one thing that I found. But then you actually find out that you're doing like lots of multiple different approaches to hybrid picking. So that's one thing, so you might actually know it. But fundamentally, the main goal is that we just want a hybrid pick. That's it. So we've got to be careful not to beat ourselves up about not remembering Brett Gasted exercises. So not a Brett Gasted exercise, but definitely one that sort of like helped me just as a warm up thing. So just getting right, hold on a minute. We'll zoom in. So just as a way to kind of get you moving about, I mean, fundamentally, we just need to get the pick and the hybrid moving at the same time. So what I'll do is this. I'll just put this over here. And I'll just make sure this is nicely lined up. Not quite there, are we? Something like that'll do. So fundamentally, what we want to do is this. We want to put the guitar light on if we can. There we go. So, Paul Gilbert exercise, A minor, down, up, down. So 3 notes on 1 string on the 4th string, and then a hybrid pick. Doesn't matter where you do it. I mean, I'm using on the 4th string 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, and then hybrid. So that's just a good thing, just to get the like lots of picking and hybrid working together. It's a really good. Not quite warmed up yet. Exercise 1, all right? That. Now, what we've also got to remember is the goal to hybrid pick. Now, what I did, which you've heard the story many a time, is I was getting really frustrated about just not being able to do it, and just so I'd spend ages hybrid picking. I'd get it to a point, and then I would come to sort of like improvising with it, and it would just all fall to pieces. My fingers would get caught in the strings, all this kind of stuff, just absolute pain, right? And then it would get so bad that I would be in improvisational situations, and I wouldn't. I'd be in improvisational situations, and then my confidence would drop, and I'd be like thinking about it all the time. Like, I'm going to hybrid pick. I should be hybrid picking. I'm not doing it because I know I'm just going to mess up, and then that was it. And then I would just like stop doing it for a bit, try and work out a life where maybe I didn't have to do it. And then eventually I came back to it. And that actually happened a couple of times, you know. And I think the last time that it kind of clicked, right, which could have been a combination of all the times I was practicing it before, but the last time it really clicked with me was I listened to an interview with Richie Kotzen, and he just said that like he's interested in playing with his fingers. I can't remember if he had no plectrums or whatever, but he just decided not to use a plectrum for a gig and just like jump in the end. And sure enough, it was pretty bad. But because he decided to stick with it and not use a plectrum, he kind of like worked kind of around the hybrid picking thing very, very quickly, just through necessary. And then all the problems that sort of came up in his playing, he kind of did a workaround. I know he did a couple of like flamenco lessons, but pretty much he sort of did it off his own back. But the fact of what actually happened there is he just put himself in a situation where he had to do it. There was no retreat from the thing. So luckily for me, I get to do like a lot of playing during the day, and I decided, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hybrid pick, and I'm not going to do anything else. And like a good starting point is just to start with like licks and phrases that you already do. Okay, so that's the easiest thing, where you would use an upstroke. Okay, so just, noodling about, trying to get that hybrid in, but great for doing your blues kind of licks, Is a really good place to start with that. So fundamentally, all I'm doing is I'm replacing the up pick with a hybrid. In most situations. But we're going to talk about a few different situations where, we'll use this to really help us out. So that's the first thing. So just start playing. Say to yourself, you're not doing an up pick on an adjacent string. It's all going to be a hybrid. Another thing about hybrid picking is, another thing that I'll do is most of the time, but not all the time, I'll do hybrid picking ascending, and then it'll be picking descending. Okay, I'll use the pick descending. So like, let's say I was doing a legato thing. So I'm just blasting up like an E minor scale there. So what's happening here is this. So those are the notes. I'm starting on the 5th string, and I'm going 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 11, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 14. Okay? We're just going up that. And what I'm doing with the hybrid picking is I'm picking the first 2 strings down, down, up with the hybrid. I should just say hybrid, shouldn't I? So down, 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 hybrid, pick again, down, hybrid. So pick, hybrid, pick, hybrid. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get the legato side of this sounding. We don't want to have overemphasized plectrum or hybrid pick. We just want to give the strings enough energy to the sound. So this is a technique I started doing because playing a lot of acoustic guitar, you just don't always have the energy in your hands to like just start doing that, like hammers only or something like that. But what we'll do is we can use the hybrid and the pick. But on the way down, it'll be pick only, so... And fundamentally, what we're trying to do is we're trying to listen to the sound of the plectrum in our fingers and trying to get it tonally all to match. So it's quite difficult. You have to be quite dynamic to do that. Okay. Quick bit of coffee. Just quickly catch up on this chat because I know I'm sort of just going into things, so... Hyperplexity. Love that tone. Thank you, Cheese Man. I do believe that is in the Nunchuck presets. It's one of mine. It's my wide lead tone. I notice when I try smaller jazz size picks, the giant picks help my alternate picking so much. Got out of my way. Yeah, I mean, I would just suggest using one plectrum and just sticking with that, because then the feel of everything changes, you know, if you keep changing plectrums. If you keep changing plectrums, then the whole feel of what you're doing is going to change, isn't it? So that's not something I would recommend. I literally just use the same plectrum every time. Cool, that camera, isn't it? The way it zooms in and then zooms out. Or like focuses, I should say. Mark Roberts. Oh, it's an absolute party here. What's the best way to speed up the okay, because we're on topic with the hybrid picking. I think what you have to do is well, the first thing is you need to know where the first beat of every note grouping is. So like this is really, really important. I'll just get my foot. Right, so the note groupings are really, really important. I'll zoom in. So when I'm doing something like this, you know, I'm thinking about the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's really important because what we don't want to do is just have like a lumpy kind of triplet feel all the time. Now, we're not accenting the 1, all right? But what we are doing is we just know where that 1 is. That's the first important thing. So that kind of gets... we can only really go as fast as that. I mean, when we start getting at ridiculous speeds, you can start getting into that triplet feel. Which, like, if you don't want that, it can sound like just a bit amateurish, you know? Yeah. Stelly's making pasta at 7 a.m. Go for it. Why not? Start at 7. Excellent. I wonder what you'll have with your pasta. It's okay, you can have that for breakfast. It's rock and roll, isn't it? All right. So, okay. Any questions with hybrid? Is there any questions anybody's got about hybrid picking before I kind of start getting into the exercises? So I don't want to give all of these away, but what I do want to do is I highly recommend this Brett Gasted book, because this is the one that sorted me out. The Guitar Technique Mastery Hybrid Picking, okay? So this kind of like saved me, and you just need to have this book. It's really good if you're thinking about, you know, doing the hybrid picking. And similar to the sort of exercise I kind of gave you here, exercise 1 is just this, right? You start with a hybrid. The notes that we're going to play is we're going to play G, and we're going to play C. Okay? And it's a hybrid, and then you're going down, up, down, hybrid. So it's a group of 4, right? And that's what we're doing. And then just start using it. Like, improvise and just start using it. Get a track on. Let's see where we end up. Banging, alright. Right, so you can take that first exercise and then just run with it. Yeah. Hi WC, how you doing? Yeah, I think I got. Sorry, I didn't respond back. Yeah, OX template is sent as 11, 12. Opened it, but you've managed to copy what I did. Right, brilliant. See you set up. No worries. I'm glad to help out. Sorry, I took a bit of time to sort it out. IWC. So hybrid picking today. So basically, just that exercise. We can get a lot of mileage, and I just think that actually, if we just focus more, because I know I do a lot of legato, but if you focus more in doing more picking and hybrid, that really, really helps kind of get it into the brain, so to speak. So I'll just do another quick little example. So things like this. Maybe a bit of pentatonic kind of things. Okay, it's just such fun having a jam, isn't it? Right, there's another thing that's really fundamental to the hybrid picking, and that is your rest stroke. Okay, so another thing I would practice is this, right? Again, really important, and this is to do with the right hand. Is now, you'll use this not all the time. I mean, certainly not in this exercise we've just done. But a lot of the times, especially with the Richie Kotzen stuff, right? We'll take that, right? Because that's like a super handy thing to do this with. To get a really clean sound, you can use like a rest stroke. So what I do is you just start with your hybrid finger basically on the E string here, and I'm just using the B and the E string, and I'm playing the notes on the second string, B, D. It's just E minor pentatonic, and then I'm rolling with the third finger to play the 15th there. Now what's happening here is I'm picking, and this is already on the string, so in other words it's muting it. And you get a really clean sound. Well, have you warmed up? So the technique I'm using there is you want to just practice this if you just mute your strings. So I pick, that's there. Pluck the string, and then immediately the pick comes back and gets ready to play the note. And I almost think of it like one action. So you can see how when the pick's playing, the string's being muted. So that's like a top tip, that one. That's really, you know. I need to tune this. Okay. Yes, it is my nutcracker tone. So you'll have this one. Yeah, I think actually this. I really like this little arpeggio, right? Super melodic, isn't it, when you hear it with the... Fuck. Could have been the... Oh, God, I love guitar playing at the minute. Right, okay, so how we're doing with the hybrid picking is like everybody kind of following the essentials here. So we'll start off with that one Paul Gilbert exercise, then just encouraging you to do your regular blues licks. We've had the Richie Kotzen. Practicing our finger planting, that's what it is, not the rest. And then what else we had? We had the Brett Gasted hybrid, down, up, down. And really what we're trying to do is just get the tone to sound even. That's all we're trying to do there. Let me have a think. What else have we got? Yeah, so like this, like stuff like this is an important one. We've got. So stuff like this, this is where we've got like picking and hybrid and an inside motion on the picking as well. So in other words, again, it's like these same notes, and you've got on the fifth string, we've got a down, and then the hybrid. So down, hybrid, and then down. So that's the first bit. Just zoom in. So down, hybrid, pick on the same string. And then we're doing upstroke. And then we'll start again. So what this is about is that feels like an awkward motion, and it's all about making it your friend. So it's like little things, like little phrases like that. Where I'm going like hybrid and then up. And that's what these exercises are for, just building in all these different motions that we can use. I'm still waking up. Come on, brain fog. I'm just having a look through at the... Right, and this is like, this one's now doubling down on that inside, that up pick with the hybrid. So, really important one. They're all really important. We're going to do hybrid. So you're starting hybrid, and then an upstroke. So, hybrid, up, down, hybrid, up, down. Stuff like that can sound quite good, actually. Like on a pentatonic scale. I get lost in these jams. So there's another one. Are you doing a hammer on hybrid, then pull off on the Ritchie? Right, let's have a look. So I'm doing pick, hammer, hybrid. Yeah. Again, that's quite a good exercise, isn't it? You could try picking it all. It's very awkward. Yeah. But yeah, the hammer on for me. And pull off. I noticed anyone trying, it's easier when the guitar is angled in the classical position like Tim has. Yeah. It's funny because, like, now when I'm doing my vertical lives, I just like to have my guitar on my other leg and be a bit more casual. But actually, when I'm teaching, it's much easier like this because, you know, the reason you want your guitar in this position is you can see into your picking hand, so you can really see what's happening, sort of with your hybrid picking. Another thing I would say about hybrid picking, which I probably discussed in earlier videos, is that on your finger, you know, I think. I remember Rick explained it to me. You have right and left hand hemisphere players, yeah? So I think for me, the string hits more on the left hemisphere of my finger. So that's another thing if you're wondering which part of your finger. It's right or left, supposedly. Anyone used Studio One? No, I've never used Studio One. I know nothing about it. Right, yeah. All right, how you doing? Very cool. Doing a guitar lesson. And I need to adjust my hair. Right. All right. Okay. I've got a little tuft there, look. Oh, come on. Hey. You know what it is? I had the hairdresser cut aggressively layers into my hair, and I've got bits that are too short. Sticking up again. Oh, that's it. Right. Okay, so I hope that answers the Richie thing, yeah? Right, other cool things we can do with hybrid picking. Well, let me have a look. We'll do one more triplet. So here's another triplet one. We've got 8 hybrid. We're always using these 2 notes, right? So we've got hybrid and we've got an up, down. So it's the opposite to that. Oh, hold on. No, that was that one. Beg your pardon. Right, no, this one. Right. Right, that's the one. So this one's really good. This is like seriously awkward. So we've got a down on 5, hybrid, and an up. So down, hybrid, up. And then we're doing a down to start the lick again. It's in triplet. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's a really interesting one, is like starting next to a hybrid. And then the pick. Anyway. Is that like a lathe machine? It mashes between some heavy wood, 4x4s, and a concrete pillar. Interesting. Oh. Some of my fingers were smashed in a steel mill accident. The bone was sticking out of it. It looked like a cluster of stars. Awful. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's do some more stuff. So another thing, like I'll use hybrid picking for, is arpeggios. So one of my arpeggio moves is this. And this is just another one where you're trying to balance the pick and the hybrid. So in other words, just, I'll do G major, 9 arpeggio, and I'm going down, hammer, down, and then hybrid. Hammer, pick, hybrid. And then from the second string descending, it's all pick. Pick, hammer, pick. Particularly handy when you're playing, let me have a think, a lick like... So stuff like that's quite tricky. So we've got like this major 7 shape here, but we're missing a note. We're missing the E out of it. So in other words, we've got B, C. So we've got 1, 2, and then we'll go to the 5th string and we'll just play the 4th on the 10th. And then we go to the 4th string. And we have this shape. Probably that fingering's better. And then you repeat that. But this time, instead of doing a hybrid, to get down, we're just doing upstroke. Sound good, those arpeggios. So pick, hybrid, hammer, pick, hybrid, and then upstroke. Took a long time to play again. I bet. Back to the lesson. Right, yeah. So there's a couple more arpeggio ideas. Now, break time. There must be some questions. So I think the thing is, right, is you just practice these exercises. I mean, what I would recommend is just picking like one or two, okay, and then just trying to embed them into your playing by improvising. That's how I would do it. Anyway, I've got something cool to show you. Well, I can't show you because it's on the floor, right? Okay. What about when the book incorporates the A of the fingers and gets more challenging? Yeah, so I have particular things that I don't use my forefinger, but I'll come to that in a minute. So there's not that many situations that I actually do that, but one of them would be that kind of thing. Right, this is how you do it. Basically, we'll do our G major 9 arpeggio. Now, I'm picking hammer, and then it's going to be hybrid, and then I'm using whatever that is. I should know the letter names. And I'm just ascending in groups of 4, so pick, hammer, hybrid, hybrid, pick, hybrid, hybrid, hammer. We're on this note now. Pick, hybrid, hammer, hybrid. And we continue till we get to there. Hammer. And then that's like hammers only. So. And then we start descending from this finger. What do you call them? P. That's P. This one, Enzo. What's that finger? P. Is that M? A. I don't know. Anyway. So we're doing like a hybrid. Hybrid. Pick. Pull off. And then that's a hybrid with our second finger. Yeah, so it's proper complicated doing this one. gonna check what that's called. A. Right. M and A. Right, let's do that again. So pick, hammer, M, A. Pick, M, A. Pick, M, hammer, A. Pick, hammer, M, A. Hammer, pull off, hammer, hammer. And then we go A, M, pick. And then we're going to just go M, pick. Hammer from nowhere. M. Hammer from nowhere. Actually, you can pick them as well. I picked that one. That's a hammer from nowhere. It's proper complicated, that one, isn't it? I don't even know how I learned it myself. Okay. No, I'm not using my forefinger. All right. So yeah, as far as the book's concerned, I worked all the way through it up to where they do the forefinger, and then I just wasn't going to do the forefinger because I can just do it with a pick. So that's kind of where I ended up with. So for me, my hybrid picking is mainly basically M and some A. That's all I use. So I got, have you heard that? That's cool, isn't it? So what I got, because I thought this would be super handy for like future lessons, is I got the TC Electronic sample sustainer. It's great. So you just hit a chord, hit the button, sustains the chord. Great, isn't it? Whoops. So I got it because, like, one of the cool things I can do is I can hear how all the intervals sound over a chord. I can just spend a bit of time kind of hanging around on that chord and experimenting. So, like, one of the things I was doing last night is like that, right? So we've got an A minor 11 there, and then we've got an A minor 11 arpeggio, right? But then what I was able to do is like add in chromatic notes to see like how far I can push it against the sound of the chord. And then it was really cool just to find like other arpeggios and see how they kind of sound. Pretty cool, huh? I started using the books with Guitar Pro, which included files. Giant help. Yes, this is a sick verb trail. Yeah, it's very good. So I just like I got it because what I thought we'd do in future lessons is just a little bit more like harmony stuff, like, you know, hearing how different notes and intervals sound over different chords. So I thought that'd be a really good one to do, and I can show people kind of stuff to do there. So, any questions? Do you think I've kind of explained this all right, hybrid picking? I think at the end of the day, you know, you just want to take a few simple exercises, you know, maybe one a day, one a week, and just try and build it into your playing. That's it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a way of like solving a problem, isn't it? Yeah. Right. I've never bothered to attempt hybrid picking before today, but I've been practicing that Paul Gilbert lick with all through the stream, and it's getting more familiar. Yeah, because it's just getting the motion going, isn't it? Getting you just familiar with it. Absolutely, familiar is the word. But yeah, I mean, like hybrid picking, if you're doing string skipping and stuff like that, totally makes sense, doesn't it? You know, it's like, go back to that chord. Like if I took something like so what I've got here is some string skipping there. I'm just ascending in fourths. I'll break it down. So a little string skipping thing which would be impossible to pick would be this. So all I'm doing, think E minor pentatonic, and this is the shape. So we're playing these three notes, 1, 3, 4. Now we're jumping to the third string, and we're playing 1, 2, 4, and then we're jumping to the fourth string, and then we're playing 1, 3, 4 again. I mean, if I was just to play it up like that, see, I'd just use this little finger. Quite hard with a plectrum, and you're also getting a lot of hand movement as well. So by using hybrid, we minimise the amount of like hand rub we're going to get. So you're going to get like super cleaner sound. This clean one, yeah. So this is actually a new preset. So those here, that's the notes we're using, and then literally we're just ascending in groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, hybrid, 4. Starting from the third finger, 1, 2, 3, 4. So pick, hammer, hybrid, hammer. And then we're on the 4th finger. And that's kind of the first half of it. And I just started again. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, like, the beauty of this is I don't have to think about the technique. Imagine picking that. You're just not going to have a great time. But there, it's nice and controlled. You're using the sound of your finger for the legato. You can accent with the pick. You just get a lovely smooth sound out of it. So this is like a little bit, the descent thing's another one of those more complicated things. So I'm picking. And then the hybrid. No, it's not a pick. Hammer. From nowhere. Hybrid. Stuff sound like great like that over a jam. Anyway. How are we doing for time? 20 minutes. So yes, that was a new sort of clean sound, and the tone I'm using is, let me have a look, this one here. Hutch wide lead 1. It's actually like set up for everything I want live, really. I don't know if I've got, oh no. So yeah, I've got like the explode set up as well. So that sounds really cool. I've got the expression pedal, sorry, the explode pedal set up so it does like, I think it's a 4th. Yeah, it's a 4th, up or down. Like when you hear that, should change the backing track, shouldn't it? Okay. Yeah. All right. And there's the backtrack. Oh. And we're back to reality. All right. So, hi Tim, just checking in from a busy train. Hi Pine Gap, how are you doing? Good to see you on here, travelling about, busy. What was the clean tone? Right, so that's a new. Oh, no, I'll just check. The clean tone is called More Practice, but I haven't got that one. It's not in the pack, so that's just something I made last night. But I'll tell you what you could do. There you go, More Practice. I don't actually. When I practice with this, I actually take the effects off. Maybe leave the reverb on. All right. So if I put this on, okay, and I'll just take you through it. So what I do is just take a screenshot of that. The dials here. We're on the clean channel. Dials are like that. I've got some compression set like that. I'm using number 4 on clean. No drive or anything. None of that switched on. Some effects and that's it. So if you just screenshot that, that'll get you there. Yeah, I'll put it up on Discord. Any chances there's no I don't know about actually making this into an IR, but I think I'll just put the tone up on there, and that's really all I can do. Which reminds me, so anybody who's been here, do subscribe to the channel. There's like lots of stuff you get for free. It's amazing. Free guitar lessons, free coaching, free track feedback, free absolutely everything comes from this channel. It's amazing. But if you don't want it to be free, I have a solution for you. So I have a Patreon for those of you who like to pay for everything, which is good. If you go on the Patreon, my Patreon, which I don't know what somewhere about. Where is my Patreon? Bear with me. I'll just find it. That's my Patreon link. Hold on, that wasn't meant to happen. Why can't I just have a nice short copy link? Try this one. That's a bit better. So there's the link to my Patreon. And right, yeah. So if you go there are two tier options. There's a coaching option, but there's the other option, which is just to support the channel, which is $4 a month. I mean, if you pay the $4 a month, that would be brilliant, because the money gets wisely invested back into this channel, making your experience even better. So just recently, not that I've even acquired the money from my Patreon, I've gone out and I've bought an infinite pedal. Oh dear. Right, screen stopped. Okay. All right, back on. Some technical problems there. My prompter decided to switch itself off, weirdly enough. The link's not allowed. Well, that's just absolutely typical, isn't it, of me? I wonder why I can't just share, like, a simple thing. Bear with me. Yeah, that's definitely the link. Like if you copy and paste that, that should get you there. Because that's what it's given me. Or you can try this. This is working. That seems to work. You just typed it in. Brilliant. Yeah, so if you go on the Patreon, there's the paid option, which is $4, which would be great. The other thing is that there's the three dots at the right-hand side at the top. If you click on there, there's a join free option, which is brilliant. All right. So I'm just coming to a close. So hope that brief sort of overlook at hybrid picking again has helped. The other thing I'd like to say is just like on future lives, any sort of questions relating to music, do as you're on your musical journey through the week, any sort of things that you want to ask on this channel, there's no such thing as a ridiculously stupid question, but actually I can prove that there's ridiculously stupid answers. Yeah, so if there's anything you're wondering about that you can share on here in your musical journeys, do so, because what we find is a lot of problems that we're having are a shared problem and we can all benefit. So rather than be quiet about it, do share it on the channel, because I do want this channel to be like the number one place people come to start to become much better musicians, and rather than searching and watching endless videos, maybe we can problem solve together as a group. Love the idea of that. Anyway, I'm going to have to head off now for my park walk. Fantastic lesson, mate. And for a look at your preset, I've got to close, but we'll fiddle about. Brilliant. Okay, enjoy. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow evening for a vertical stream. How exciting. All right, then. See you guys. Bye.